Now, what do I do if I got yellow teeth? My teeth are so yellow. What can I do? Now, believe it or not, we get asked this on a regular and a daily basis. And I guess how do we deal with it really depends on what actually causes it in the first place. And in terms of causes, look, there are generally two types of causes. One being extrinsic stains, which is basically anything external, anything outside of the mouth that's causing it to stain on the tooth itself. Now this will involve wine, tea, coffee, turmeric in most curries, and even sometimes lippy. So those are all external stains there, or extrinsic stains. Now we also have the other cause, which is not as often as extrinsic stains, which is what we call intrinsic stains. Essentially anything that's within the tooth or internally in the tooth itself. Now in most cases with intrinsic stains, you're probably born with it, and it's probably embedded in the tooth so much so that generally intrinsic stains are a lot harder to address than extrinsic stains. Those two causes are basically chalk and cheese. They're very different, and they're very the way you approach it really depends on what's causing it, as I mentioned earlier. Now, but for today's purposes of the video, we'll probably talk a little bit more about extrinsic stains. Otherwise, this video will go on and on and on and on and on. But we will touch on intrinsic stains at the next video. So I guess, how do we fix it? Now, the first way of fixing it is, which you've probably heard of this before, is why don't you just go down Coles Woolies and get a whitening toothpaste? Well, you can do that. And in fact, you go down the toothpaste aisle. I don't know about you, but when I go down there, I look at the aisles, I will get overwhelmed with the different types and different brands, different bottles and different shapes of every single of different brands out there. Well, I suppose the good thing about it is that it's easily accessible. You can get it off anywhere. It's cheaper as well in general. But I suppose the only downside of that is that if you think about it now, if you've ever used a whitening toothpaste before, essentially it's they're using silica, a little fine little grit that you find in the toothpaste itself. And sometimes it comes with aluminum oxide, and there's many other different brands out there, different active ingredients as well. But if you think about it, it's like using, you're putting those toothpaste with grit in there on your toothpaste, and you're brushing it over your tooth there. It's kind of like using sandpaper on your tooth, isn't it? So this is essentially roughly how it works. Generally, that's how it works. You rub on a tooth, you pop some toothpaste on your toothbrush and you rub it off so you get rid of all the external of stains there. But at the same time, the problem is that you can't control how much you take off. So you might also take off a bit of tooth structure along with it. So in some cases, we find that some patients have thinner teeth, sometimes even more sensitivity that lasts for longer durations as well, at the expense of your tooth there. I guess the other thing that you can that you probably heard about of how to whiten your teeth up is using charcoal toothpaste. Now that's starting to become a popular thing to do these days. Well, I guess the good thing is it's cheap again, it's easily accessible. But I guess the downside is, apart from the obvious using something black on your teeth there and all goes black, it also uses the same principle as what a whitening toothpaste would do. It uses bicarb soda, so little particles again there, or sometimes sodium bicarb, to sort of wear off or take off the external stains and to reveal the slightly whiter bits underneath. And again, I guess the downside of that is self-explanatory. You just sandpaper your tooth off again. I guess the other option is the last option is using some form of professional whitening. Professional whitening, I guess the downside of that in general is the cost, of course, and sometimes the sensitivity you get to, but it's easily managed and it's only temporary anyways. And I suppose the good thing about it is that with that, it whitens the teeth out inside out, and it doesn't take away any tooth structure, and it works. So I guess when it comes to professional whitening, there are two very general forms of whitening there. We do use take-home kits or sometimes the in-chair whitening. Now I guess with take-home kits, the good thing is that it's generally cheaper than the in-chair. But I suppose the downside is that it takes a while. It sometimes takes a week, sometimes up to 2 weeks, sometimes even 3 weeks just to get the results that you want. as opposed to, and with the take-home kit there, before I move on to the in-chair one, it's pretty much you make a, we make a custom molded tray. We pop some special gels in your, and we'll let you pop some special gels in your trays, and you just pop it on and go to sleep overnight with it, and sometimes even during the daytime. Using the other alternative is using the in-chair whitening option. Now, using the in-chair whitening option, I suppose the downside is the cost is generally a little bit dearer, and that can, because you're going from literally yellow to white in just 45 minutes to 1.5 hours, you pretty much, it's a rapid change across, so you can get a little bit of sensitivity when that happens. But I guess the good thing is that, like I mentioned earlier, sensitivity can be managed, and it's only transient, so it's only for a short time. And with zoom whitening that we use here as well, is that it comes with some desensitizing things in there as well, so it reduces the sensitivity quite a fair bit there. But I guess the obvious upside is that it's quick, it's instant. 45 minutes, you walk in with yellow teeth, walk out with white teeth right away. And I guess the other good thing is, depending on where you go, but I know at Tooth Heaven we provide take-home kits complimentary as well on top of the in-chair. So you get two for the price of one. And I guess, when it comes to how long, I guess I get this quite commonly as well, is how long will this whitening last? Well, I guess the question depends on what you eat. So if you whiten your teeth on day one and next day you drink 10 cups of coffee, obviously it's not going to stay as white as that. But I guess the good thing about for us is that when we provide the in-chair whitening, we provide take-home kits as well, so you can then continue whitening your teeth out and just get a top-up to bring you to another level of whiteness. So yes, so I guess those are the 3 general ways of whitening. Just a quick summary of it, and until the next video, we'll speak again soon. Bye now. Hey there! If what we just spoke about speaks to you or someone you might know of, and you'd like to find out more, we're more than happy to have a chat with you just by clicking on the links below. You can also contact us directly on our phone number on the number listed on this side. And if you don't already know about this, we do accept online appointments as well, and you can book yourself online from our own website. Now, this video is just part of what we believe in at Tooth Heaven, which is changing lives one tooth at a time. Until the next time we see you, thank you for watching and take care. Bye now.